Hey everyone, Val here. I'm in my kitchen and I thought I'd do a recipe today. I'm going to take this recipe out of our family cookbook, and this was a recipe that Mom made when we were growing up, and she still makes it now. So the only thing is I'm going to change the recipe just a little bit because I'm going to be making this for a friend and she is gluten-free. So I am going to make this recipe gluten-free. So this is zucchini bread, and this was my mom's recipe. So let's get started. Let me show you what the ingredients are. Now I am going to double this. I'm going to double the batch because I want to take some to her, but I want to keep some for myself too. And zucchini bread freezes really well. So I can make mini loaves. I can freeze some and then I can take it out a little at a time because Steve isn't going to eat it. So I will eat it for breakfast or, you know, for a snack or something. I'm going to make it low sugar. I'm not going to take the sugar totally out, but I'm going to cut the sugar in half because I don't want all that sugar in my food. And she also is very weight conscious. Not that she's heavy, she's not heavy at all, but she eats healthy. So I want to make a healthier version for us. So I'm going to start out with, it calls for 3 eggs. I have 6 here because I'm doubling my recipe. It calls for a cup of cooking oil. I'm going to stick with the recipe and put a cup of cooking oil in it. Actually, I have 2 cups here because I'm doubling the recipe, and I'm using Crisco, a vegetable oil, because that's what I have. So that's what I'm using. And then it's calling for 1.5 cups of sugar. Now if I doubled this it would be 3, but I'm going to just leave it at 1.5 because I'm cutting my sugar in half. It's calling for 2 cups of zucchini that's grated up. So I've got 4 cups here. And I had the zucchini in my freezer because I had it out of my garden and I froze a whole bunch of zucchini, and I'm really trying to get rid of some of the zucchini. We both like zucchini bread. So that's a way to get that out of my freezer. I've got 4 cups here. It's calling for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I have 4 teaspoons of vanilla. It's calling for 2 cups of sugar. I'm using 2 cups of gluten-free sugar. This is 4 cups here. It's equal proportion. The flour I said flour, right? I didn't say sugar. Well, the flour I got is gluten-free, and it's calling for 2 cups. This is 2 cups of gluten-free equals 2 cups of regular flour. So I have 4 cups here because I'm doubling the batch. Now it's calling for 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. I have my 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I have all my spices here, or my baking soda and stuff. It calls for 2 teaspoons of baking soda. I have 4. Calls for a teaspoon of salt. I have 2. And then it calls for 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. And I have 6 teaspoons of cinnamon. Cinnamon is good for you. So that's all of my dry ingredients. And you can add nuts if you want to. I'm not sure if she eats nuts or not, so I'm not going to put nuts in this today. So it says I'm going to put you down here, and I'm going to go over the ingredients as I'm putting them in again because I want to make sure you got everything. If you want to make this 3 eggs, I'm just going to say for the single batch is 3 eggs here. And it's saying to beat the eggs, I'm going to get a whisk. Alright, I'm going to just beat my eggs up here. Alright. And then it says to stir in the cooking oil. So it's calling for 1 cup of cooking oil. We're going to stir that in. And the sugar. And it's calling for the 1.5 cups of sugar. Now you could do this with your stand mixer if you want to. I think it's just as easy to do it with a spoon. I'm going to stir that up real good. Get everything incorporated well. Alright, and then it's saying to add in the grated zucchini, and again it was calling for the 2 cups of zucchini. There's a seed. I'm going to take the seed out. I don't really want the seed in there. A couple of seeds got by me. I tried to get them out. Some of this zucchini squash was a little bit big, so I tried to get all the seeds out of it before I measured it. 1 or 2 seeds in there is not going to be too bad, but I don't want it full of seeds. Alright, that looks good. Now it's saying to add the vanilla. And then add the dry ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and put my cinnamon and everything in there. And then incorporate that slowly into my mixture. I can smell the cinnamon. I'm looking forward to eating the bread. I had some zucchini bread and some coconut bread in my freezer, but I've used it all up. So I thought it was a perfect time to make another batch. And I'll run some over to my friend for Valentine's Day. Well, it'll be an early Valentine's. I'm going to take it tomorrow. Alright, I'm getting a workout. Make sure all that flour is mixed in there good. You don't want lumps of flour. That's for sure. Alright, that's how your batter should look right there. Just make sure you mix it around good so there's no flour in there. Alright, that looks good. Let me get the pans I'm going to use. And we'll get this in a pan. We're going to be cooking it in the oven. If you're doing loaf pans, bread pans, you're going to be doing 350 degrees for 1 hour. I'm going to make mini loaves, so it's not going to take quite as long for this to cook. A lot of times I'll do the mini loaves because I'm the only one eating it in the house. So I'll take the mini loaves, I'll individually put them in little snack bags, I'll put them in the freezer, and then if I want one, I'll just pull one out, leave it sit overnight, and I'll eat it for breakfast the next day. Or I'll cut it into 2, cut it in half, eat half of it for breakfast, maybe half of it at lunchtime or for a snack or something. That way I don't have a whole loaf of bread, zucchini bread sitting out, and feel pressured to eat that when I may not want all of that in, you know, a week. So it makes it easier for me because it does freeze really, really well. Let me get my pans. I'm going to be right back. We'll put this in pans and we'll pop it in the oven. We'll see how it turns out. I'm going to be using the mini loaf pans, and these are just small pans. They're all connected together. And then I have some cupcake tins. This is what I'm going to be using for my banana bread today. So I fill these, if I'm doing the small muffin tins or these small bread tins, I fill it about half full. And that's plenty. And then I'm going to do some of the cupcake tins, and I'll fill those, oh, that's a little more than half full, but I'll fill them about half full also. That'll make a good one size serving if somebody wants like a cupcake size or something. But I'm going to go ahead and fill these, and then we'll pop them in the oven. We have a dozen plus 4, 16. We have 16 muffins, and then we have the 8 mini loaves. So I'm going to pop these in the oven. Cooking time for the large loaves are an hour. I'm going to time these about 20 minutes and then check them with a toothpick. I'd use the toothpick method to check them, see how they're coming along, and see if I need to add more time. So my oven is ready. I'll throw these full ones on the middle shelf, and then I'll go ahead and put those 4 on the bottom shelf, and then I'm going to time it. I'm going to do 20 minutes, and while they're cooking I'm going to be in the kitchen anyway. I've got dishes to do, so I'm going to do my dishes, empty my dishwasher, and clean up this kitchen. We'll come back and check and see how our muffins, our zucchini bread is doing. It's been 20 minutes. Shall we check and see how they're doing? I have a toothpick. Oh, they're looking pretty good. They're not done. I can tell by looking at them they're not done. I'm going to leave them about 3 more minutes. They really just need to get the tops done on them. The insides are pretty done. So I'm going to set them for another, let's say 3 minutes. And we'll see what they're looking like. I just need the top to brown just a little bit more. It was between 25 and 30 minutes for them to cook. This one took a couple of minutes longer just to get browned up nicely on the top. But they look good, they smell good. I'm going to let them cool for a few minutes. Then I'm going to come and cut one of them open and see what they look like on the inside and give them a taste. Now they are gluten-free, and they're half the sugar of the regular recipe, what it called for. I am going to insert a picture of the recipe here. If you want to stop the video and copy the recipe down, you're welcome to do that and give it a try. You can either do it the original version, you can change it to gluten-free, you can go low sugar on it. If you want to substitute some of the oil for applesauce or something to make it healthier, you can do that also. But this is what I came up with today. This is how it looks. Looks nice. Let me cut it. That's how it's looking. Nice and moist. Not dried out at all. I'm going to try a piece. The flour makes no difference. I'm not tasting any difference in the flour. Can I tell it's low sugar? It's not extremely sweet, but it's not like it's missing anything. It doesn't scream like, oh my gosh, you forgot the sugar. I think it's perfect. I can taste that cinnamon in there. I'm liking it. I'm going to save part of that for tomorrow morning. But I think it has good flavor. I hope Amy likes it. So that's my recipe. Feel free to try it in any of the versions you want to try it in. Full sugar, full flour, or gluten-free with low sugar, or however you want to try it. It turned out good. So thank y'all for watching. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and you want to. And remember, it's all about the adventure. I will catch you on tomorrow's video. Bye now.